most people, you struggle with your spirituality. That's just the normal way of things. I know most of the time you think, why can't I give more money to charity? I should be going to shul more often. I should be a better person, maybe volunteer a little more. Why are these things so difficult for everybody? I mean, everything that comes from the materialistic world, we seem to do quite easily. Like if you want an ice cream, do you have to struggle with that? No, you get into your car, drive to the nearest ice cream parlor, whip out $5, $10, whatever it is, buy yourself some Rocky Road and go to town. It seems very easy. But when it comes to spiritual matters, it takes every single fiber of our existence to even move the smallest steps. That's the way of the world. I mean, I didn't invent this, trust me. If I had made this world, it would be exactly the opposite. Coming to shul, giving charity, volunteering, learning how to read Hebrew, doing all of these things. That would seem fun and easy and exciting. Eating ice cream would take every effort. Oh, why? But hey, I'm not God. I only pretend to be. I play one in shul, but other than that, I'm not God. So we have to think of other solutions. So I came up with a little idea that I called Friday Nights Unplugged. What's Friday Nights Unplugged? Because we always suffer from this dilemma and this conflict between flesh and spirit, that our flesh is always looking for our pleasure. What are the things that we do because we want to, because we get the most out of it? It's enjoyable to us. And most of those things have to do with materialistic physical matters. On the other hand, our spirit is also looking for pleasure, but it's looking for spiritual pleasure. So how can you combine both? Satisfying both the flesh, I mean, doing the things it likes to do, like partying, and the spirit, which likes to daven and pray and give charity. It seems that there's a dichotomy, that kind of a bridge that's unsolvable. How do you get these two together? So we talk about Friday Nights Unplugged. Now, Friday nights, as you know, in the Jewish religion, is called Shabbat. Shabbat is one of the most wonderful gifts that God gave to the Jewish people. I mean, it is unbelievable. This kind of an idea where, from Friday night to Saturday night, we're out of it. We're basically disattached from the world. We unplug everything. We do what we want to do spiritually. But if we only did that spiritually, we'd say, hey, you know what you got to do on Shabbos? You got to fast. You got to pray 10 hours a day. You got to study Torah. The rabbi said no. You know what you got to do? You have to have a spiritual setting. What does that mean? Would you have to have a table full of food? What? A table full of food? That doesn't sound very spiritual. But that's the key. You see, that's where you invite the flesh and the spirit to sit down at the same table. You say to them, hey, you guys are not natural enemies. You guys are actually allies. But if you want to really see where you can have this common denominator, try this. Next Friday night, go home. I know it's not a very pleasant situation for many guys, but go home. All right? And tell your family that this Friday evening, we're going to do something special. We're going to have a Friday night unplugged. And Thursday, go shopping. Friday, do the cooking. And when at sunset, have everything prepared. Don't start cooking at sunset. And at sundown, have the women of the family light Shabbos candles. And then pour yourself a cup of wine. Come on, you can't tell me that the flesh is not already loving this idea. Wine. Hey, come on. But before you drink that cup of wine, I want you to meditate and to think about something. I want you to think about the source of that wine and why on this very night you are doing this. It's not Tuesday night. It's not Wednesday night. It's Shabbat. And open up and crack open a Siddur. I know, you may not have one at home. That's the genius of the internet. What do you think the internet was invented for? The internet was there because there's Siddur on the internet. So go look up Friday night Kiddush, Friday night opening service, and download the Kiddush. If you can't read Hebrew, get the transliteration and the translation. And look at it. And say to yourself, you know what, before I drink this cup of wine, I'm just going to read several verses from the opening chapters of Genesis. Something like, and God completed all his work on the seventh day. And he made the seventh day holy. And he blessed the seventh day. And think about that for a second. For 6 days, God was working and toiling and toiling and working and doing all of that stuff. And he was exhausted by Friday night. And on Friday night, what he did was, he created the one thing that was missing from the world. Rest, peace, completion, serenity. And you're looking at that cup of wine and you're thinking all of these thoughts. And you're expressing them to your family. And you're saying to them, the reason why we're standing here this evening without our blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, all kind of berries that we have in our house, no phones, no internet, no Facebook, no Twitter, nothing. We're completely unplugged, is because we need to also nurture a deeper part of our existence called the Spirit. And this wine that we're going to bless in a moment is given to us as a reminder that we are here at the behest of the Almighty. That we are not animals. We were not created as a dog or a cat or a leopard or a lion or a bear, but we are human beings. We have free choice and we make decisions in our life where we want to go with that. And we look down at that wine after sharing these thoughts with our family and we make a blessing over the wine. We say, thank you, Hashem, for giving us the fruit of the vine. And thank you for sanctifying us and choosing us and giving this wonderful gift that we call Shabbat. And then we sit down and we share that wine. What have we just accomplished? We've bridged these two ideas, these conflicting elements that we have in ourselves all week between the spirit and the flesh. Everybody's happy because we have wine. And the Spirit is happy because you just didn't sit down with a bottle of vino like on a regular Sunday afternoon at a picnic and just gulped it down. But we thought about this before and we nurtured that Spirit and we got in tuned with a different part of our existence. We shared this with our families and then we sit down to eat the challah. How great is that? Freshly baked challah or freshly bought challah, whichever you prefer. And we talk about the challah as a remembrance of the special bread that we ate in the desert, of our reliance upon God's grace to us. And we share that bread. And once again, we're bridging the conflict. We bring soul and body together at the table. And both are happy. The body, of course, because of the challah. And the soul is happy because we talked about the purpose of the challah. And this is true throughout the entire meal. And at the end of the meal, after some lively songs and good discussion, and no conflict, no discord around this table, but just pleasantries and complimentary statements and getting to know each other once again, we finish the meal and we say to ourselves, I can't believe we just did this. How great is this? And if we did this every single week, we get to know each other so much better. But it all comes with an attitude. If you want this to happen, you got to make this happen. God is not going to make this happen for you. You make the decision that you are going to bring flesh and spirit together in harmony. And if you can do that, it extends itself from Friday night to Saturday to Sunday to Monday, and you get a completely different appreciation of who you are and your place in the world. You don't believe me? Try it. If it doesn't work, I was going to say I'm going to refund you, but I'm not going to refund you. Try it and trust me. And if it doesn't work, email me. Maybe we'll try something else for you. But for thousands of years, it has worked for the Jewish people. And I'm almost positive it's going to work for you as well. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. Have a wonderful week. And remember, Friday nights Unplugged is the way to go.